everyone. Welcome to another episode of Advocacy for the 18th. I'm State Representative Jillian Gilchrest, and today I am joined by Jeremy Stein, who is the Executive Director of Connecticut Against Gun Violence. Jeremy, could you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Sure. So we've been around for 25 years. We started in Bridgeport because of a drive-by shooting, and we are one of the oldest advocacy groups in the country and in Connecticut. So we were responsible for a lot of the gun legislation that's here in Connecticut. The Sandy Hook bill was first of its kind that we passed right here. And we've been working on gun bills ever since and before that to try to save lives, because that's really what it's about.
Wonderful. So this year we're heading into, we just started the new session, and I know we've been on a good trajectory, but Connecticut is a leader on this issue. So what are some of the things you're looking to do this year here at the legislature?
So I think one of our most important missions is going to be to try to pass a safer storage law. So we want to make sure that there is a law that is preventing access by children, but also we want to make sure that if guns aren't in the hands of people that are licensed to have them or should have them or trained to have them, that people are locking up their guns. So we want to make sure that prohibited people don't have access to guns, that children don't have access to guns, people with mental health disorder, people that shouldn't. And when it's not on you, it should be locked up.
And I know you shocked me when you told me what the current age is here in Connecticut, that folks have to have a gun locked up. What is the age?
So right now, the way the law is written is that there is a storage law, but it only applies to loaded weapons, and it only applies to access by children under the age of 16 years old, if you can believe that.
I can't.
So we need to fix that. Obviously, we need to make sure that guns are being kept away from children under the age of 18, but also that unloaded weapons are also kept away from prohibited people, because as you may know from Ethan's song, who was a Guilford teen, he got access to his neighbor's gun. The gun was in a box with the ammunition in the same box. So technically the gun wasn't loaded, but the ammunition was right there. He was able to access both. And that is considered safe storage, to have the gun with the ammunition in a box. And we just need to make sure that people are locking up their guns and keeping it away from children especially. But we also want to see a law that prevents people from leaving their guns in their cars. We don't want to interfere with anyone's right to have a gun on them if they feel they need it for protection. But if you are going into the store and you don't feel like bringing your gun with you, it should either be locked in your car or go into a locked compartment in your car, but it shouldn't just be left out in the open or underneath the front seat. Which
I agree with, and so that's a bill I'll be co-sponsoring this year. Last year I was following along with ghost guns. That's coming back up again this year, is that right?
Yes, we think that's coming up again. There's been a lot of support, bipartisan support, for both the safe storage law and also for the ghost gun ban. We believe that that's going to come up through the judiciary, and that we are looking to ban not only ghost guns, which, if you don't know, they're guns that are unregistered, unserialized, there's no marks, you can buy them online, you can put them together in your own home, no background check, no registration, no age restriction, anyone can get them, and you can get AR-15s, AK-47s, a whole slew of handguns. There's no limit on what these companies are selling online. All you need is really a credit card and a drill to complete these guns. And they're seeing more and more of them in Bridgeport and New Haven and Hartford, and they're real, and they're here in Connecticut. So we want to make sure that we're not only banning those, but we're also making sure that 3D printed guns are also banned and regulated, so that people who are having guns, they go through the proper checks and training and background checks so that everyone is safe if they decide that they want a gun.
Great, thank you. So another bill Senator Will Haskell and I have introduced would increase the tax on ammunition. It's not a priority of Connecticut Against Gun Violence, but as two candidates and now elected officials who are dedicated to preventing gun violence, we see this as a public health measure, similar to how we taxed cigarettes. And so that's another bill you'll be seeing this session. So how can folks get involved if they want to take action?
They can contact us on our website, which is www.cagv.org. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can come to some of our rallies. We are having an event on February 14th. So we want to educate people, as also have a vigil for everything that's happened in Parkland. But we also want to make sure we're illustrating not just what's happening in our suburbs, but what's also happening in our cities, because two forms of gun violence that we don't talk about a lot and people don't talk about a lot are suicides, which is 2/3 of all gun violence, and also the urban gun violence, which we need to make sure we're reducing as well.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. And as always, if you have questions for me, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.